We'll be presenting on common patterns that show contrasts. There are several words and phrases that show contrast, but today we will learn four of these. These are difference between, differs from, in contrast to, and unlike. So let's get started. We can use the difference between to signal a contrast between two noun phrases. The be verb comes after the second noun phrase and shows the aspect that is different. A noun phrase or a that clause can follow the be verb. So, for example, the difference between cats and dogs is loyalty. Here, as you can see, I'm following a noun. I'm following a noun phrase. I'm following the be verb with a noun phrase, and the aspect that is different is loyalty. As I mentioned here, I can also use the that clause after the be verb. So, for example, the difference between cats and dogs is that dogs are loyal and cats are not. So, a that clause is just a clause that starts with the word that, and again here the aspect that I am contrasting between dogs and cats is loyalty again, but I'm expanding the idea with a that clause. Let's move on now. Differs from. We can use differs from to signal contrast between two noun phrases. The in comes after the second noun phrase and shows the aspect that is different. So, for example, a noun phrase or that clause, a noun phrase or that clause can follow the be verb. For example, cats differ from dogs in size. Okay, so the aspect that I'm here, the noun phrase size coming after in shows the aspect that I am differing, contrasting. Like I mentioned before, for the difference between, we can also use a that clause with differs from. So, for example, cats differ from dogs in that they are smaller than dogs. So I can use a noun phrase size and just talk about the aspect, or I can expand that idea and with a that clause. Let's move on now. Okay, we can use in contrast to noun phrase to signal a contrast. The contrast can occur in one sentence between a noun phrase and an independent clause. So, for example, in contrast to cats, dogs are loyal and kinder. But the contrast can occur between two independent clauses. So, for example, cats are independent. In contrast, dogs are loyal and kinder. So, there's the contrast right there. Here, cats are independent, dogs are loyal. Okay, moving forward now. Lastly, I can also use unlike and then with the noun phrase to signal a contrast. Here, the contrast strictly only occurs in one sentence between a noun phrase and an independent clause. So, for example, unlike cats, a noun phrase, dogs are loyal and kinder, the independent clause. Okay, just to quickly conclude and summarize my presentation, we can use difference between to signal a contrast between two noun phrases. The difference between cats, noun phrase 1, and dogs, noun phrase 2, is that dogs are loyal and cats are not. And of course, we can follow is with that clause, but keep in mind that noun phrase is also possible. We can use differs from to signal a contrast between two noun phrases. Okay, cats, noun phrase 1, differ from dogs, noun phrase 2, in that they are smaller than dogs. And again, here after in, we're using a that clause, but keep in mind that we can also use a noun phrase. So noun phrase is also possible. We can use in contrast to noun phrase to signal a contrast in one or two sentences. Here I'm just going to show you one sentence. So, in contrast to cats, dogs are loyal and kinder. And we can use unlike noun phrase to signal a contrast in only one sentence. So, unlike cats, dogs are loyal and kinder. Okay, that concludes my presentation. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any thoughts, questions, or concerns, please email me, and I look forward to seeing you in class.